What is an annuity, and do you need one for retirement? Annuities are a funny thing. Some people swear by them, and others see them as a total ripoff. I'm somewhere in the middle. The truth is, an annuity is a financial tool that serves a specific purpose. It can be a good thing if it's used right. The problem, though, is that often annuities are not used right, and people are sometimes taken advantage of when they buy them. I'm going to tell you a personal story to illustrate what I mean, but before I do, I want to remind you that the views and opinions in this video are simply my opinions. These are the opinions of a random YouTuber who may or may not be a total idiot as far as you're concerned. You should never make any financial decisions without first doing your due diligence and checking with your financial advisor because, as I mentioned, I could be stupid and have no idea what I'm talking about. You don't know. You just clicked on my video. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let me tell you a personal story. Years ago, when I was a young lad, I thought I was going to sell life insurance, and I did for a time, or at least I tried to. I didn't sell much because I wasn't very good at it. You ever done something like that? Click the like button if you've ever tried to convince yourself you were good at something, even though you weren't. Anyway, I digress. For me to work for the insurance company, I had to get licensed. For that to happen, I was required to take a state test that covered all the products I would be licensed to sell. Studying for that test was the first time I ever heard of an annuity. I eventually passed my test and I got licensed. The company I worked for didn't promote annuities, we just focused on life insurance. So I floundered around trying to sell life insurance for about a year, and honestly, I failed miserably. Even though we didn't actively promote them, there were a few annuities we could sell if we wanted to. So at least I learned what an annuity was. Fast forward to a few years later. My wife came home from work after a meeting with a quote-unquote retirement specialist who talked her into moving her retirement account to an annuity. We were young at the time, and this product was not a good product for us to buy. I knew immediately that we got hoodwinked. Click the like button if you've ever been hoodwinked by a salesperson. Seriously, I won't tell anybody, and my channel does better when you click that button, so just give it a go. Anyway, we eventually got out of the annuity, although we were penalized for cashing it out. What irritated me the most, though, was that this retirement specialist was really an insurance sales rep going around promoting this annuity as an investment instead of what it really was, which is a financial product she sold and got a commission for. As a sales rep, she didn't care about our retirement. She just wanted to make the sale, get her commission, and get out. This became rather evident when she wouldn't return any of my calls when we tried to cancel it. We had to contact the company, and it was a long process to get somebody on the phone. So, to keep you from making the same mistake we made, let me give you a quick overview of annuities. First, when you buy an annuity, you're basically just buying a monthly income. It's pretty much a contract between you and the insurance company. And yes, only insurance companies issue annuities. So all the talk of growing the investment, portfolios, etc. usually points to one of the more complicated types of annuities, which usually means a higher commission for the salesperson. But we'll get to that a little later. The point of an annuity in its simplest form is to help you create a fixed income that will last you until the day you die. That way, you never run out of money in retirement and you don't have to manage anything like you would if you invested in real estate. Sounds like a great thing, right? But the question then becomes, is an annuity a good idea? Well, that depends on how much you have to invest and what you're looking to do. My opinion is no. An annuity is usually not a good idea because there are other investments that will give you a better return on investment, or ROI. It's that darn term, guaranteed income, that sucks people in. If you want a totally hands-free, passive income stream, and you're willing to not get the best returns, then yes, an annuity might be a good option. It is a financial tool, and it can be a good option if guaranteed income is all you want and if you're willing to get a lower return on your money. For example, let's suppose you have $200,000 cash to buy an annuity with. So how much does an annuity pay? Every company has their own products, so they're going to vary from company to company. On average, though, according to annuityexpertadvice.com, a $200,000 investment would pay you between $876 and $1,042 per month for the rest of your life, depending on what age you bought it at. The question you've got to ask yourself is, how can an insurance company guarantee you an income for the rest of your life? The answer to that question is because they're going to take your money, invest it, and make way more money with it. Then they'll pay you out of the profits they're making off of your money. Let me illustrate my point. In the area where I live, there are neighborhoods where I could purchase a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for $200,000 cash and rent them out for $1,500 to $2,500 per month for the rest of my life. If I did that, I would have more cash flow than an annuity would provide for the same initial investment. I would also still have the investment. So my rent payments wouldn't be fixed like an annuity payment. As inflation and the market drove rent prices up, my income would go up as well. It wouldn't be a fixed income. Also, as the home went up in value, I would benefit from owning that asset. I could sell it down the road if I ever wanted to get a large sum of cash, or I could put it inside of a trust for my kids. There are a lot of options. Of course, I would have to factor in the headache of managing it, or the cost of a management company, as well as repairs and vacancy rates. But at the end of the day, I would still get a far better ROI by investing in a rental than I would by putting my money in an annuity. Again, it depends on whether you want to maximize your returns or have a guaranteed, stress-free income. Annuities can be a good financial tool as long as you understand what they really are and you understand ahead of time the decision you're making. Suppose you know all of that and you still think an annuity is the right move for you. In that case, you'll want to have a little working knowledge of the types of annuities on the market. There are 2 different types of annuities, immediate annuities and deferred annuities. They're pretty much exactly how they sound. If you buy an immediate annuity, the payments start immediately. If you buy a deferred annuity, the money you put in will grow and you'll defer taking payments until a later date. Within these 2 types of annuities, there are also fixed annuities, variable annuities, and indexed annuities. Fixed are the least risky and the most predictable. But, of course, just like anything else in the investment realm, the returns are going to be lower. Variable annuities, or VAs, are more risky, but could potentially be more rewarding because they're tied to an investment portfolio. Fixed annuities, or FIAs, are kind of like a blend of the 2. So in order to balance the risk and reward, they're tied to an index. They typically have higher fees and costs as well. Variable annuities and fixed index annuities are complex and less straightforward than just fixed annuities. For this reason, they tend to pay greater commission to the salesperson. To the financial advisor. And because of that, 75% of the $200 billion in annuity sales every year are VAs and FIAs, according to thebalance.com. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're buying an annuity, make sure you understand exactly what you're buying and that you trust the person you're buying from. There's a good chance they're getting a hefty commission for selling it to you, and the more you're spending, the more they're making in commission, generally speaking. It's important that they have your best interest at heart. If you get the slightest feeling that they may not be authentic, look for another salesperson. Dang it, I did it again. Look for another financial advisor. Now, if you're not sure where to start, I'll put links in the description to help you out. If you're thinking about an annuity as an income stream in retirement, you may want to first check out my playlist on land investing or my video on opening a Roth IRA.